As you watch this, you are witnessing me, my uncomfortable, insecure, shy face on camera. Video is everything to me in my business, and it took me a while to really understand that. So in today's video, I want to help you understand why video is the paramount and is going to be the king of your business strategy going forward, and how you can utilize it to fit your strengths and play to how you want to build. Let's dive in. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. This is the first video in the method series, and again, the playlist, as always, is going to be linked down in the description so you can get everything from start to finish to help you get your method straight so that you know how to build. So again, why is video everything? Why has it taken off so much? And should it be something that you dive into? Over the past 2 years, dealing with the COVID pandemic, that has changed the way that people consume information. While face-to-face is still very critical, not only in our business, but in most, a lot of information can and is being consumed via video. The key here is with video, not only do you, the real estate agent, get to leverage your time better, but it's also going to be better for most of your clients. What are the odds that you have the same window of time open as them on a consistent basis to give them the messaging, keep them in the know on what's going on in your market? It's going to be very hard to do that. And you run the risk of being a pain in the ass, just to put it bluntly. Whereas if you have them set up to see your information on a time that is good for them, that could be 2 a.m., that could be lunchtime, you're staying front of mind and top of mind, you're also consistently adding value. So video, long form, short form, there is no way to do this incorrectly, you just have to start. But let's talk about the difference between long and short form and why one is maybe going to be better suited for you or why you should tackle both. Since I have been doing video for over a year now, coming up on a year and a half, I have focused strictly on long form video. So my strategy, I don't want to dive too deep into here because it'll go off topic, but long form for me is what is most comfortable. I am very comfortable having conversations with people and being able to convey emotion, being able to talk around things, tell some stories, and really piece things together in order to add value, in order to provide knowledge and information. Short form video, I simply haven't put the time in to become an expert in that. You have a much smaller window to convey your message. You need to have a quick hook. It tends to appeal to a different audience. So in my market, not only am I more comfortable doing long form video, but my audience seems to prefer long form video. Now I'm going to be dabbling in short form here coming up because I see the power that it has. The algorithms on Instagram, TikTok, even YouTube Shorts are changing to really push that short form video. So if you want to grow your business, it's kind of silly not to consider it. But I want to be very clear with you. If you try to take on both at once, the odds of you being able to succeed in both are very slim. There's a statistic out there that when you try to do something new, one thing, you generally have about a 45% chance of staying consistent with it. The second that you add in a second new thing that you're trying to do in conjunction with the first one, that cuts in half. Once you add 3, it gets even worse than that. It's about 3% that you're going to be able to keep up with all 3. So I would encourage you to pick one. Now, if you enjoy one particular platform, right? If you're an Instagram king or queen, if you love TikTok, if you love YouTube, wherever you spend your time, I would urge you to consider starting there, right? It's a platform you're familiar with. You've seen probably what works and what doesn't, what videos attract you and keep your attention and which ones don't. So again, this goes back to playing to your strengths. You don't have to recreate the wheel, but we have a ton of training here in the Agent Wolfpack at EXP on all this stuff. So if you want to get a hint of what that looks like, feel free to drop me a comment below or reach out directly. I'd be happy to walk you through exactly what we have, because that toolkit is everything that I've used and will continue to use to grow my business. Now, once you get over the fact that it's going to be hard, that you're going to suck on video, the first 10 videos, give or take, are going to be bad. I know that hurts to hear. Nobody likes to be bad at anything, but if you never start, you will never get better. And here's the rub. I've brought in agents in my market who I technically am competing with and helped them with video. Now, why would I do that, right? I'm taking money out of my own pocket in theory. That's the old school way of thinking. In reality, I know that most of them simply aren't going to be able to stay as consistent as I am. They're not going to have the ability to weather some of this pain from putting out a bad video and seeing it completely drop. Or you thought a video was going to be terrible and it took off. It takes you for a ride sometimes, but that's why, again, we're talking method. This is the 3rd series here. Mindset was the first one. If you have your mindset right, you can push through all that nonsense and you can really grab a hold of this. Now, the second thing that I want to mention here is it does take time to get traction. I don't want you hearing that video is going to work and think that that means you're going to get a client next week off your first video. It's possible. I've seen it happen. But if you expect that, you're setting yourself up to be disappointed. This comes from a theory that Mike Sherrard, my mentor, has, that if you have not added enough value into the world, you will not see the return on that and the results that you are hoping for. And there is this line. You're traveling under it this whole time. You're slugging through whatever new habit, new system you're trying to put in place. And all of a sudden, you break through. That might take longer than you expected, but most people bail before they ever hit that point. So they've put in all this work. They're building momentum right before they break through that barrier, and most walk away. There are memes out there that show that in spades. So it's not an uncommon theory, but it is real. So I would urge you, once you start, again, keep your expectations in check, but also get ready for how much more open your world will be to acquiring new clients, have them calling you, because that is the name of the game. And last but not least, I didn't hit on this. I probably should have put it in the beginning, but I got carried away a little bit. Why is video king or queen? It's all about the know, like, and trust factor. I know you've heard that a million times, and that seems like something that now just flies over your head. It's jargon. It doesn't mean anything, right? If we dial it back to simple terms, why do agents who work a lot of open houses end up getting a lot of clients from them? A lot of agents say, hey, you just put me in front of people and I'll be able to convert them. They'll fall in love with me. I will be booming. That all comes down to the fact that when you're one-on-one, when you're face-to-face, it's very easy to have a conversation, to start to build a relationship. But that's also very time-consuming. You can only be in one place at once. And even in an open house, there's a limit to how many people you can reach, how many conversations you can have. So with video, you're talking to hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people all at once. And it's not taking more than one time for you to do that. So this video will be living on forever on YouTube. And who knows what the limit is, because there is none. So the point being, if you're yourself in these videos, if you are providing who you really are and you're telling people what you're about, they can make a decision. Do they like you and do they trust you? The worst thing that happens is they get to know you a little bit, they feel that it's not a good fit, they move on to somebody else. That's not lost business, because guess what? If you met that person face to face, the connection would still be the same. It wouldn't be there, but it saved you time. It saved them time and stress. The other big saying is that it's all about who you know. Well, recently it's been spun around, and I agree with this. In our world, it's about who knows you. So by being out there, whether it's short form, long form, regardless of the platform, people are getting to know you. Now, depending on how you decide to curate your content, how real you are, how genuine you are, how you come across on camera, which again takes time to really get better and really feel confident with it, people will start to like and then trust you before they've even spoken to you. There's huge power in that, because it's unlimited how many people you can impact, how many people your message will reach who will know, like, and trust you and will reach out when the time is right for them. So again, instead of spending 1, 2, 3 years having to follow up with somebody, if you're out in front of them, starting from their research point, which again, they could be 1 week out from buying a home or selling a home, they could be a couple years out. But when they find you, and if you're consistent and you're in front of them, they will reach out to you when they're ready. And on that timeline, right, it's going to be much shorter incubation period. You're going to have their full attention because you've educated them for days, weeks, months, or years. So I hope you can see why video is the mantra, and it is core value number 1 in our method series. Now, if you have any questions about video, about how to get started, feel free to reach out to me or drop them right in the comments. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you next week when we talk about why new clients are actually the cake and Sphere is the icing. I'll see you then.